Here we are, clearing the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in the state. Everybody out here knowing it, but we don't too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Keep that money in the power, never be fake. Stick the code side for 3.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Create jobs, support our own.
Get comfortable. Go ahead and get comfortable. Enjoy the cool theme song that my brother made for me while I get it set up.
DPTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV.
You know what? I'm gonna play the theme song again because I think it's so dope. And actually, I'm going to send a text message out to everybody who wants to join the live stream. If you want to get on our text list, go ahead and do this now. Text the word Boyce to 31996. Maybe write that down. Text Boyce to 31996, and you'll be invited when we go live. At least 2 or 3 times a week. I can't text you every time, but I can text you then. All right, so go ahead and text Boyce to 31996. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna play the song again as we get ready.
Here we are, clearing the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in the state. Everybody out here knowing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Keep that money in the power, never be fake. Stick the code side for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same power at your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV.
Financial channel. It's the dopest thing ever because we actually have daily financial news and commentary from a Black perspective. Sort of a Black version of Bloomberg, a Black version of CNBC, a Black version of CNN Money. We need a Black man. We need to own our own stuff. We need to own our own networks. We need to build our own stuff, and we're building. We're building by brick, and we got the most powerful force in the universe, which is your support. When Black people come together and build something together, I believe that that's greater than what any one superhero can do, what any one celebrity do, or whatever. And so, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something real trifling right now. Take off this shirt because I'm hot as hell, and I just got off a flight. I just landed in D.C. And why did I come to DC? I did not come to DC for the Byron Allen Supreme Court case because I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about y'all. Give me a yes or no if anybody else feels this way, but I kind of feel a little bit tired of marching and protesting and holding up picket signs like it's an assault rifle. I don't know if you guys feel this way. Give me a yes if you agree. Like, I'm kind of tired of marching. I'm tired of praying to white Jesus. I'm tired of hoping that Superman and Santa Claus comes and delivers freedom to us. I'm just tired of that. I'm just not that guy. It doesn't mean I don't support, but I think that there's other ways I can be proactively supportive without going out and wasting a good afternoon, holding a picket sign. No disrespect to people who still do that stuff. It's just not me. I'm not that guy. But I will support from the background. And you guys know I've been using my platform to support Byron Allen in his lawsuit. And I did a deep analysis on Your Black World TV, one of our other YouTube channels. And you guys can feel free to go check that out. So here's what's going on now that I decided to jump into. I'll tell you what, you guys remember, yes or no, did you guys see the interview that I did on drboycetv.com? Did anybody, yes or no, did you guys check out the channel? Let me know if you saw that interview. If you haven't seen it, it's really good. Monique presented herself extremely well. She and her husband are very smart, and they seem like very good people. They're very respectful, very decent. Very solid. In a way, it's kind of interesting because sometimes we have this public persona, this image that people get of us from what they see in the media, right? And sometimes that image is not consistent with who that person really is. One example in real life is Wendy Williams. I remember the first time I got invited on the Wendy Williams show in 2006, and I remember I was scared as hell, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, this lady tears people to pieces and destroys them with gossip and all this other. I was like, man, what's this gonna be like? What's she gonna ask me about? How's it gonna go? And do you guys know? I mean, straight up, point blank, period. I'm be honest with this. Wendy Williams was the best interviewer I've ever had. the best interviewer I've ever had. And this is a lesson for those of you who are trying to get up in the game, trying to climb the ladder, whatever your ladder is, whatever you're trying to do. Don't get it twisted. Charlemagne and Wendy Williams, it's not a coincidence that they worked together for so many years. You might think Charlemagne's just out here just running his mouth and being a clown. But I believe that there is a lot of strategy behind, sort of building that brand. Wendy Williams did not take over New York radio, the most competitive radio market on earth, by just getting lucky. So stop believing that successful people will just always get lucky, because that's not the case. Other examples, I saw D.L. Hughley this weekend when I was down at Willie D's thing down in Houston. And D.L. Hughley is a master comedian. D.L. Hughley is not a guy who's just kind of funny. I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm funny, I should get on stage and tell jokes. I'm like, yeah, you should, but you got to practice. I know a lot of people who think that because they're a little bit funny, they can just jump up there and just be a comedian, or they can jump out there and just be a radio show host. And I'm like, no, what you don't understand is that the people who tend to rise to the top have a miraculous and extraordinary grind factor. They tend to have something where they're in it with both feet. They're deeply committed. They're deeply serious. One of the people on the web online that I see who has that same tendency is actually Vicky Dillard at FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com. There's a reason why Vicky Dillard has probably one of the strongest female voices on earth from women in the Nation of Islam, or for all Black women, period. And it ain't because Vicky got lucky. It's because Vicky is relentless as hell. So if you want to be successful, man, you got to be relentless as fuck. You got to practice. You got to work on your skill. DL does that. He did that show in The Fresh Prince. Remember when Will Smith thought that he was going to be a comedian? He went up there and he bombed, and DL was kind of giving him game on how to be a good comedian. Well, that's the same thing true when you talk about comedians, radio show hosts, athletes, actors, whatever. So, so let's segue into this, into another talented person. So Monique is suing Netflix. Let's see, Boyce is always plugging his connects. Well, I think it's important to plug the connects in terms of what I learned from them. I think it's good to basically talk about these people, because a lot of times you only see them on TV. And I like going and meeting people. I don't really look to meet celebrities, but because I could probably be friends with a lot more celebrities, but honestly, I don't enjoy it very much, because people start asking for favors and it becomes a lot of pressure. And I don't enjoy that, but I do think it's interesting to say, okay, now I understand why this person is at the top of the game and why that person is not, right? And so ultimately, I'm just telling you guys, if you want to be successful, don't be like these lazy assholes out here thinking that, well, he just got lucky, or somebody just gave them money, or I'm just gonna sit back here and just wait, somebody gonna give me an opportunity. No, typically the best people are the ones who are so damn good at what they do that opportunities come looking for them. Just straight up, opportunities will come looking for you if you're good at what you do and you keep pushing. So anyway, let me keep going. Hit the thumbs up button if you haven't done this. Let's do our Black Power exercise real quick. On the count of 3, everybody, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and type Black Power in the chat. Please do that as we dig into this conversation. So 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hit the subscription button and also hit the notification bell. We're trying to build Black media here, and we could really use your help. And all you got to do is hit a button, and that will be huge for us in terms of helping us to reach more people around the world. So am I in DC? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Just for about a day and a half, though. All right. So and I'm going to go see I'm going to spend my time going to see Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm here. My time will be spent paying tribute to my elders. Without Dr. Anderson, there is no us. So when I come in town, I go see my grandfather. That's the man who made me, so I'm going to always show that respect. Same way I show it to Farrakhan, same way I show it to Kenny Gamble. Shout out to all these guys that have mentored and given me advice over the years. I love every single one of them. I would take a bullet for them in a second, and you don't even test me on that, because I'm 100% serious. So anyway, let's keep going. All right, so here's where we are. All right, so Monique is suing Netflix for racial discrimination. Basically, she is filing suit, and it's a real interesting kind of story. Basically, she's kind of throwing in a little twist, and it's fascinating that she's suing Netflix, like sort of right in the middle of the whole Byron Allen thing. So the first thing I thought about was, like, what's going on? Like, what was it that led her to announce this right now? Or did the media just grab this now? Was she inspired by Allen? Because remember, Allen's a comedian, just like Monique's a comedian. And so I'm wondering if there was a conversation that was had, or if somebody said, hey, Byron Allen's suing Comcast, so you should sue Netflix. And so apparently, so I wouldn't be surprised if more of these lawsuits start to go public. What I really like about suits like this, though, is, it kind of shows that you do have some Black people out here that are not scared to get blackballed, that are kind of ready to stand up to the man. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this question. First thing I'm going to ask you is this, just from a pure right or wrong, true or false kind of context. Remember Monique was suing because she felt that she got, actually, before I ask you this question, let me read this to you. Let me read the story to you, then I'll ask you this question. Okay, Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique sued Netflix on Thursday, accusing the streaming giant of racial and gender discrimination by trying to drastically underpay her for a stand-up special after offering other stars tens of millions of dollars. The suit filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court accuses Netflix of giving a, quote, biased discriminatory offer, end quote, to Monique for a 1-hour comedy special around November 2017. In the 39-page filing, Monique calls out everyone from the top executives of Netflix management team to highlighting the gender and wage gap and lack of diversity in Hollywood. Quote, despite Monique's extensive resume and documented history of comedic success, remember, she did win an Oscar. Oh, that's a big deal. A big deal for Hollywood. When Netflix presented her with an offer for employment for an exclusive stand-up comedy special, Netflix made a lowball offer that was only a fraction of what Netflix paid other non-black female comedians. According to the lawsuit, which seeks unspecified damages and was filed on her behalf by attorneys at the Dubertis law firm, APC, and Schimmel and Parks, APLC. The comedian was offered $500,000 as a quote-unquote talent fee, an offer the lawsuit claims was significantly less than those offered to men and white women for the same type of stand-up comedy specials. Quote, when the talent was not a black woman, Netflix offered to pay and did pay astronomically more than it pays black women like it offered to Monique, the lawsuit said. She says, I chose to stand up. She says, I could accept what I felt was paid discrimination. I could stand up. So she wrote something on her Instagram. It looks like right now it has about 7,000 likes on it. So she's got some support there. A Netflix spokesperson did not immediately respond to NBC News' request for comment. They had previously declined to address Monique's complaint, saying Netflix does not comment on contract negotiations. The suit said Netflix reportedly offered a $100 million deal in 2017 with comedian Jerry Seinfeld for 2 stand-up specials and an interview series. It also said Netflix reportedly signed a deal with comedian Dave Chappelle worth $60 million. Chris Rock was reportedly offered $40 million with Netflix in 2016 for 2 specials, the lawsuit said, and Ricky Gervais was offered $40 million. The lawsuit goes on to allege Netflix initially offered comedian Amy Schumer $11 million for an hour-long special, and she was able to negotiate $13 million over the offers. $13 million over the offers made to Chappelle and Rock. So she was able to go in and say, look, Chappelle and Rock got all this money. I deserve more. I'm getting cheated. You're cheating me because I'm a woman. So they gave her $13 million. Now, this is interesting, right? Now we know who Monique is, right? You see Monique in movies. She's talented. She's a talented actress, right? I did not enjoy Precious. I don't know if you guys, I didn't enjoy Precious, but I enjoyed Monique's talent in Precious, right? Did anybody? I saw Precious was a very depressing movie. I don't know about y'all, but I get sick of these fucking super depressing black movies. Like, I don't want to see no movie. I don't want to see no more slave shit. I don't want to see no more shit about us being the help. I don't want to see no more shit about us like living a life that is absolutely the most horrible experience imaginable. It doesn't mean these stories aren't real. It just means that there are other stories out there to be told. So I'm kind of so some of those movies kind of made me sad, but she did great in Precious. She also did great in I think it's called This Christmas, Just Christmas, or something about Christmas. I don't know if y'all saw that, but she made that movie. She's that good of an actress. Now, as a stand-up comedian, though, there are people who question her resume. There are people, I think Cat Williams and a few others, maybe it was Cat, maybe it was somebody else, but they were basically kind of saying, like, you're not really out there as a stand-up comedian. When you're on interviews, you're not funny. When she does interviews, I mean, think about it. When Monique does her interviews now, she doesn't, in my opinion, it seems it doesn't use her strongest weapon, which is her comedy. Comedy can be used to achieve a goal. Dave Chappelle did it masterfully in his special. Dave Chappelle literally used comedy to disarm and chop the balls off, the whole Me Too movement, to basically, cut the legs off of, all kinds of white supremacist hatred. He went after political correctness, and he did it with comedy. He made it funny, right? Monique doesn't really make it funny. Monique goes on her interviews and she tends to look like a college professor, right? And I remember thinking, like, I'm a college professor, but you're a comedian. Like comedy is a weapon, right? So I always felt that Monique, to make that point that, hey, I'm really funny, and you should have, I'm really funny, and you're going to see how funny I am by how funny I am in this interview, and that will prove my point that Netflix don't know what they're missing, right? I wonder if that would have been a better strategy than, to just go straight for the jugular, with the machete out, right? But she's a serious woman. She's very intelligent, and when she came on this platform, she did a great job in her interview, and I have so much respect for her and her husband. But I'd like to ask you this. So this leads to my yes or no question. In terms of discrimination, Monique was offered $500,000. These other people were offered millions of dollars, at least 11, 12 million. Do you think Monique has a case? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think Monique, like, if you were the judge, or let's say if you were working at Netflix and it was out of your budget, and somebody said, no, you should give Monique at least, 5 to 10 million, do you feel like Monique has a case? Okay, I see no from ZP. Blaze says yes. Let's see here. Let's see. Space Dawn says 15 minutes and 45 seconds in. No, I started talking in minute zero. You just wasn't listening, you dumbass. Kevin, I'm just playing with you. Kevin Gibson, no. Hannah, hell no. Okay, I'm seeing no's. I'm seeing a lot of no's and yeses. This is interesting. I'm going to do a survey actually in the Black community because I want to see where people stand on Monique. Because what I saw was it looked to me like she turned the tide. Like in the beginning, she looked. I'm not gonna lie. I really felt like she looked butt naked. Like, girl, please. I am not, ending my Netflix subscription because I've got about 18 shows to catch up on. Right. Most people felt like it was crazy. But then the more she was consistent, I think people gained respect for what she was saying. She did interviews. She sounded very intelligent. She made her point very clearly. And it seemed to me, based on my conversations, my pulse on the Black community, I felt like people were really kind of starting to get her, starting to support her, right? And so I'm gonna ask you this, so here's another yes or no question. Feel free to answer this. First of all, I'm gonna say thank you very much to Pierce for your donation. Pierce says no damages. So Pierce is a no, all right. And then Chris Walter says hate pressure so much, why I can't support Monique. Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation about movies like that. That comes out of that. Out of that Lee Daniels / Tyler Perry space, where some of the people, unfortunately, they've gone through so many tragically traumatizing and abusive experiences that, I think that the way they express Blackness on screen can be a little bit uncomfortable for some people because not all of us live that. Like Tyler Perry, I don't know if you ever heard Tyler Perry talk about how I think he said, didn't he say, babe, that he was molested by like 8 people or 6 people in the neighborhood or something? And it's like, who was protecting you? Like, what was going on? Like, what neighborhood did you live in? Like, like you kind of were like, man, like your experience with we need to get you all kinds of therapy. But I love what Tyler's doing, but it's like, my God, like what the hell? And I remember Lee Daniels actually saying publicly, you can go look this up. I think he said something like he was so suicidal that he was having as much unprotected sex with as many men as he could. He was having as much unprotected sex with as many men as he could so that he could hopefully catch AIDS and die. Like he was trying to do this. And that is not normal thinking. Like that's not what a person does when they care about themselves, So it made me feel very, very bad for him. But at the same time, it made me also say, do we feel, does it make sense when individuals who have the most mental illness in the community, in the Black community, are the ones that are put out to represent the Black community? Like they're the ones putting out the content that reflects what Blackness is supposed to look like. So when Comcast goes and says, hey, we want to get some Black networks, we want some Black shows, are they going to get Black shows that reflect the diversity of Black